These are my Week 7 fantasy football rankings for quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, defense, and of course, kickers. What's going on, fantasy football fans? My Snapchat is Hussein the Brain, and you're watching my PPR rankings video. You can find all my rankings, the written form, and updated throughout the week on fantasycouch.com. Let's jump right into it. Looking at the quarterback rankings, should we rank Patrick Mahomes number 1? Ankle, not 100%. Left tackle, left guard should be out Thursday night football. And facing the Broncos in Denver, the Broncos defense has been playing much better the last couple of games. Didn't start off the season well. We don't really, if we had to say, will Patrick Mahomes finish number 1 QB or not? We would definitely take the side that says he's not going to finish QB1. So we take the field, essentially. But to rank someone ahead of Patrick Mahomes is going to be tough. And I think the two players that we would consider ranking ahead of Mahomes will be Matt Ryan and Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, he's a rookie, bit of a wild card, can't do that. I think we take Matt Ryan at home. Matt Ryan in Atlanta, in a dome. He's always good. I know they just got Jalen Ramsey, but he's going to only be able to practice a couple times with the team. Not saying that's bad. He'll still be good. But Matt Ryan has thrown to a lot of other targets. He's used Calvin Ridley, Sanu, and he sure as heck used Austin Hooper. Also used Devontae Freeman in the past game. I just really like his upside and floor when he's playing at home. The Rams this is true, whatever word you want to use. If you don't want to use the word tanking for the Dolphins, whatever, it doesn't tanking, they're tanking. And if you don't want to use the word desperate for the Rams, that's fine. If that makes you emotional, unhappy, and triggers you, whatever, use a different word. But this was a desperate move. Rams needed to do something to make playoffs even. They may not even made playoffs. They traded away a lot of high draft picks like that just to get Jalen Ramsey, who's one of the most talented cornerbacks in the league, no doubt about it. But will it really work? Will they go to the Super Bowl? I don't think so. I think this move is enough to make playoffs, so it could be a good move, and it will help them a lot, but I don't think it pushes them over and helps them win a Super Bowl this year. We'll have to see, though. It might. I might be wrong, but nonetheless, it is a desperate move. I think we'll just have to wait and see if it is a good move. If it was a smart move, let's see if it was. I'm ranking Patrick Mahomes number 2. And yeah, Kyler Murray. Oh, man, I really do want Christian Kirk back to help with this, but going up against the Giants, this is going to be a high-scoring game. I truly do believe that. And we can't bench Russell Wilson. Let's put Russell Wilson ahead of Josh Allen. And yeah, I do like Josh Allen more than Lamar Jackson this week. Let's move Deshaun Watson. I would start Deshaun Watson over Josh Allen. I have him right around where Kyler is. So let's rank him right here. Deshaun Watson could easily be QB1. Yeah, and now this is looking pretty close. I also like Jared Goff a lot. I think Jared Goff could be QB1. Going against the Falcons secondary, he'll be good, and I think all the receivers will be playing. He's got both tight ends, Higbee, Everett, Brandon Cooks, Woods, and Cooper Kupp should have an amazing game. I'll have to rank him right around here. I think under Patrick Mahomes, right around where Kyler Murray is. I really do see Jared Goff just going berserk. So let's put him here. This is going to be the high-scoring game. Falcons, Rams. And then another high-scoring game would be Cardinals and Giants. And today, 3 wide receivers for the Packers didn't practice. Adams not practicing, Geronimo not practicing, MVS not practicing. We got to put Aaron Rodgers way down. It's just hard to trust Aaron Rodgers when, and Jimmy Graham I don't think practice either. It's hard to trust. So, I mean, I fully expect Jimmy Graham to play, and probably not all 3 wide receivers are going to be out for the Packers. Still very concerning. I have to put him down a few spots. So right around, wow, this is just, it's scary how much Aaron Rodgers has fell off in fantasy. It's he just hasn't been that elite quarterback the last 2-3 years, and he's still good, don't get me wrong, but he was always QB1. You know, he was at least top 4 quarterback. Pencil that in every week, but now things have changed. Minshew should be okay, but this might be more of a Fournette type of game. So let's put Minshew right here. And Jacoby Brissett. This could be a run-heavy game, a lot of Marlon Mack. But this is shaping out to be pretty well. I do like Dak Prescott, but without Amari Cooper, maybe no Randall Cobb, I think we downgrade him just a little bit. And I think Zeke could still do very well against the Eagles. So let's put Wentz ahead of Dak. Let's put Lamar 1 spot ahead of Josh Allen. So let's finalize this thing. I really like Jimmy Garoppolo this week. Not a top 12 start. You know, I'm going to actually rank him. That's tough. The Niners D is going to be so good that Jimmy G is not going to need to do much. This Colts-Texans game is going to be more of a shootout than this Washington Niners game. So right around here. Okay, I like that. Phillip Rivers not looking good this week. Wow. And that's pretty much it. I'd want to rank Darnold higher than these jokers. Derek Carr also might not have any receivers, by the way. So let's put Sam Darnold right here. Don't want to trust him against the Patriots, but I do like him more than Carr, more than whoever's starting for the Dolphins, for the Titans. Let's put him right here. And we really don't like Teddy Bridgewater going against the Bears. Who are the top 5 running backs? I think number 1's going to be Fournette. He's got the matchup. Jags should have the lead. And he's going to get the volume. That's one thing we can guarantee with Leonard Fournette. He'll be the goal line back. He'll get a ton of carries. You know, expect him to get over 20 touches and a lot of touchdown upside going against the Bungles. Saquon Barkley is back. Let's do it, guys. And Zeke, Dalvin Cook. I really like... man, should we... I think with both tackles returning for the Cowboys, I'm going to leave it like this. I think you can have Dalvin Cook easily be the number 1 back, but I'm going to put him at number 4. It really doesn't matter. Like, I love all 4 of these guys. They're super elite this week. You can interchange them. I think Zeke's going to get a lot of volume. And, I mean, Dalvin Cook's just a beast, but I'm going to put him at number 4 this week. I think number 1 would always be C-Mac, but he is on bye. And David Johnson is proven to be a really good receiver. And so he's basically playing 2 positions. He's going to be playing wide receiver and he's going to be playing running back. So just so many ways to score. I know Le'Veon Bell is going to be getting a lot of catches, but not that great of a matchup. The Patriots have played against Le'Veon Bell a lot of times. They know how to contain him. Easier said than done. He'll probably still get 20 fantasy points, but I don't see him getting much more than that. I don't think Bell has a high ceiling. These top 5 guys do have a high ceiling. Fournette, Saquon, Zeke, Dalvin, DJ. And then Chris Carson probably will beast yet again. And this is going to be the last week I rank Kerryon Johnson at a respectable level. He's been pissing me off. I don't even own him in any fantasy leagues, but I really do expect him to ball. Like, I thought he'd have a good game against the Packers. Like, I really expect him to ball out, and he's done nothing this entire year. A lot of people started drafting him in round 2 in fantasy, late round 2, because he was going late round 3, but he worked his way up, and I've seen him go late round 2 in a lot of leagues, and he's just really not panning out, and yet again has another tough matchup against the Vikings, but I do think he is a sneaky start. I might be targeting him in DFS as well. Now, Devonta Freeman, I don't fully trust you yet. I like you in the past game, but I don't trust you. I'm going to rank you one spot ahead of Melvin for now. And was it last week I was wrong? What week was it? Whichever week where Aaron Jones went off, that wasn't last week. That was 2 weeks ago. That was week 5. So, yeah, because Montgomery was on bye last week. So I thought Montgomery would get 2 or 3 touchdowns against the Raiders. I don't know what's going on. I'm kind of tired of making up excuses for the Bears and David Montgomery. The game was in London. But yet again, somewhat of a tough matchup against the Saints. Saints D is good. Should be low-scoring game. I still see Montgomery beasting. Look, instead of 3 touchdowns, I'm thinking about 1.5 touchdowns. So I see him getting a touchdown. I see him doing very well because mainly of the Bears defense. They had this bye week to prepare. It's a Teddy Bridgewater game. The defense should give David Montgomery a lot of opportunities to score. We know Mike Davis is now pretty much irrelevant. So I do see a big game for David Montgomery. And Philip Lindsay's going to get so many opportunities. I'm going to rank him number 8. I even like Royce Freeman this game. Now, Royce Freeman is a bit of a question mark. So I'm pretty confident that the Broncos will be able to run the ball extremely well. And the running back position in general is going to do really well against the Chiefs. I don't know how many opportunities Royce Freeman's going to have, but it could be one of those cases just like Jamal Williams we saw a Monday Night Football did very well, which isn't going to be a regular occurrence probably, but that could happen again with Royce Freeman. I'd say about a 25% chance Royce Freeman outscores Philip Lindsay. Not likely. And if that happens, they probably will both beast. I do see both of them putting up double-digit fantasy points. So it could be a sneaky start this week if you do have a lot of players on bye and whatnot. Let's rank Drake below everybody. I do not trust Drake at all. No, I do not trust him. Let's put Marlon Mack ahead of Devonta Freeman, and because of the trust factor, I'm going to really rank Mack ahead of Montgomery. And then who needs to be moved up? I seen someone who needed to be moved up. Well, Melvin Gordon, I don't trust you, so we're moving you down quite a bit. And then we're moving Aaron Jones and probably Mark Ingram up. Let's move Aaron Jones right here. I really do like him against the Raiders. And Derrick Henry, let's move down a couple spots. I think David Montgomery can outscore Derrick Henry. Bold prediction. Josh Jacobs could do very bad this game. Actually, I think he's going to do extremely bad. Let's move him down a lot. Let's put him right here. And James White has been the guy who's been slow and steady, extremely consistent. Every week, he's going to get you 12 fantasy points. And if you're not playing PPR, he's basically worthless. But in PPR, he gets you like 12 fantasy points every single game. Not much more, not much less. Yeah, he's going to be good in PPR. Very reliable. And the Chiefs running backs might do well collectively. I just don't know which one's going to do well. Is it going to be Shady? Is it going to be Damian? I know Darrell Williams got a couple fantasy points last week, but I don't think it'll be Darrell Williams. So I think it's going to be Damian or Shady. I just don't know which one. Also, let's move Tariq Cohen down a few spots. Shady up a couple. Alvin Kamara, I think he's going to play, but he might be limited, so I'll leave him here for now, and we'll see how he practices on Friday. Let's move Devin Singletary up. He's been practicing. He's been looking great in practice. And this could be the game where he absolutely dominates. And even if he does, doesn't mean Frank Gore won't do anything. So I still like Frank Gore as well. But I think Singletary is much more upside than James White, who doesn't score a lot of touchdowns, doesn't get a lot of carries. He's more of a receiver, basically. Josh Jacobs' floor is... Not really. I really don't like Josh Jacobs this week. Because he'll get... I mean, he's the main guy. He is the guy. But I think the Packers know that. And all you got to do is stop him. I don't expect Terrell Williams to be playing. So all they have is Darren Waller. They don't really have a lot of receivers. And Antonio Brown's no longer with the team, if you haven't heard. So they're really hurting at receiver. Their number one wide receiver... Antonio Brown's gone. Their number 2 wide receivers likely out with plantar fasciitis. We'll see what happens. I'm going to actually move Mark Ingram up a few spots right here. I do like him a lot. I do like Mark Ingram a lot. And I think this is good. I think Derrick Henry can do well. This is looking good right here. Let's just keep moving Kenyon Drake down right there. And I don't want to see Kamara that low. It hurts my feelings. So let's move him down one more spot. This could be a good game for Miles Sanders. Let's move Shady up and Miles Sanders up. There we go. Looking good. And of course, Latavius Murray is going to get a huge boost if Kamara is out. Still a tough matchup, but he's going to be the guy if Kamara can't play. And yeah, let's just put Jordan Howard ahead of Miles Sanders. Who's going to be the number 1 wide receiver? Let's make it Cooper Kupp. High floor, high ceiling. I haven't really seen Cooper Kupp make huge, big plays. Like, not a lot of deep balls, and this is the game where that's going to happen. There's going to be a lot of shot plays down the field and players being wide open. The Falcons secondary just doesn't communicate well. They mess things up, and Cooper Kupp running up the field wide open, that could happen. All it's going to take is one of those plays for him to be wide receiver 1, and I see it right there. Hopkins and Julio Jones hasn't been doing well. Keenan Allen might get contained yet again. Michael Thomas, tough matchup. Look at all these tough matchups to where we can see Tyler Lockett be the wide receiver too. It's really tough right now for these so-called elite fantasy wide receivers. I mean, shoot, we can even see Bobby Woods be wide receiver 1 going against the Falcons. It can happen. See a bounce back game for Boyd. I mean, this is all over the place. Like, it's tough predicting these wide receivers. This year, it's much tougher than last year because the wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2 doesn't seem to even matter. Mike Evans versus Godwin. Godwin seems to be better. And with, Brandon Cooks was the number 1 drafted Rams wide receiver. Yet he's the 3rd best Rams wide receiver. Shoot, he's even worse than Gerald Everett sometimes, depending on who you ask, depending on what game it is. And so things have been really crazy. Like, who's the wide receiver 1? Who's the wide receiver 2? I don't know. Just whoever's starting it could be anybody. It's so hard to predict from week to week, and it's so hard to know which guy is the wide receiver 1. I think that term is just going to go away. Just like we don't say defensive end number 1. Like, we don't say that usually. And that's pretty much what's going to happen. That term is almost no longer really existing. Look at even Adam Thielen and Diggs. Like, we knew Adam Thielen was the wide receiver 1 for sure. But are you sure? Because Diggs can go off and Thielen could just do well as well. This could happen a lot of times. I guess the only wide receiver 1 is Devontae Adams. And he's probably not playing. He's hurt. And Michael Thomas. There we go. Michael Thomas. Now that's a wide receiver 1. Michael Thomas. And wide receiver 2 is probably Kamara on that team. DJ Chark could have a huge bounce back game. Let's rank him a little bit higher. Now, I did think Chark wouldn't do so well week 6. I ended up being right. But this week against the Bungles, that could be a pretty big bounce back game. Scary Terry might get shut out. Like, I'm not really dying to start that guy. Yeah, right around where Will Fuller is where I would rank Scary Terry. And Calvin Ridley, I see him having a huge game against the Rams. Like, I see 150 receiving yards. Jalen Ramsey could be shadowing Julio Jones. And I mean, I fully expect that to happen, but he just got on the team, so let's see what's up. I do expect him to play. I do expect this and that, but he did have a back injury. I mean, regardless of Jalen Ramsey, even if he doesn't play or doesn't shadow, I think Calvin Ridley could have a huge game. Just so many ways this could happen, and I do think Matt Ryan could easily be QB1. So let's just put him a few ranks higher. Let's put Cooks down here. Let's put Allen Robinson down here. Tough matchup against the Saints. Should be covered by Marcus Lattimore. And let's put Golden Tate down a few spots. Whatever we got to do to move Calvin Ridley up, up, up. And yeah, I mean, that's how much I like him. I'm putting him here. I'm doing it. It's done. All right, it's done. He's 15. There we go. And I want to see Gallup way, way up. I like Gallup right here at 14. Okay, tight ends. Is this going to happen? Everyone thinks that Evan Ingram is going to ball out against the Cardinals. How does this not happen? I guess it's just, if it doesn't happen, it's just luck because everything aligns. Cardinals are terrible against the tight end position. Evan Ingram's really good. He does well with Daniel Jones. This will be a shootout, high-scoring game, lots of yards, lots of potential touchdowns. More than one way for Evan Ingram to score fantasy points, whether it be racking up receptions or getting touchdowns or getting a lot of yak, a lot of yards. It's going to happen. I definitely like him more than Ertz. And I'm going to go ahead and put Kittle ahead of Ertz. Kittle, believe it or not, is faster than a lot of wide receivers. And basically, I see him as a wide receiver going against Washington, who is a horrible secondary. He'll be catching a lot of balls, and all it takes is one mistake by the Washington defense for this guy to rack up some serious yak, get 40, 50, 60 yards of yak on one play. And I think that's pretty good. Look, I'm not disrespecting Austin Hooper. Okay, I am disrespecting Austin Hooper just a little bit. I still do like him, though. I'm ranking him 5. Actually, I'm going to rank him 6 because I like Mark Andrews a lot. I feel like he's going to get a lot of opportunities to score. Last week, Lamar Jackson, 150 rush yards, 1 rushing touchdown, 0 passing touchdowns. That's probably not going to happen against the Seahawks in Seattle. He's probably going to need to throw more. And so maybe he throws 1 passing touchdown. And his main guy to throw that touchdown to is going to be Andrews. Kind of sucks for Lamar Jackson and his passing that Hollywood Brown is hurt again, did not practice. So he's shaping up to be another inactive this week. Don't know yet. Let's see what happens Friday. Maybe he gets healthy and does play week 7. And let's put Waller up 1 spot ahead of Henry. Jimmy Graham, I expect him to play, but he is not 100%. Still, if he plays, he'll do well. And that's looking pretty good. I think one of the Colts tight ends will do well, or 2 will do mediocre. And Dawson Knox could be a sneaky start. How do you even rank these tight ends? What am I doing? Ranking wide receivers, ranking tight ends. It's an impossible task. Nobody can do it, but I do my best. Defenses. Let's have some fun. I just love ranking defenses and kickers so much. One of the reasons why I take time studying kickers, researching kickers, knowing what's up is not that I go all in, like I'm drafting kickers early or I'm stashing kickers and just taking up a lot of resources and valuable roster space and draft picks and fantasy. It's not, I don't do that. It's actually the opposite. I study so I do know my sleepers so I can wake up Sunday morning and add any kicker off free agency because I know which ones are the best ones that are free agents. So I don't need to spend any FAB. I don't need to spend a waiver claim. I can hoard players. I can hoard an extra player. I can use the IR glitch and store players in IR for as long as I can because I always know the best sleeper kickers of the week. And I do the same thing with defenses. Of course, you study the defenses, you know which defenses to stream. That way you're not wasting a ton of FAB and roster space on defenses. And this is the strategy to do. Look, nowadays everyone's doing this. Everyone's streaming defenses. Not everyone has the Patriots D, the Bears D, or the Niners D. These are 3 defenses that you don't need to, that you can start kind of blindly pretty much every week. And the Bills are kind of becoming that too. Maybe even the Packers, a little bit of second tier. Packers aren't elite defense in fantasy, but they're right below that, the top 4, top 5. They're becoming very good. I guess the Vikings kind of fall into that too. They don't score as many fantasy points necessarily, but they're pretty good. You can start them just about every week. But yeah, streaming is the way to go. All right, so I'm ranking the Bills number 1. Bears, they're going up against the Dolphins, by the way, if you wondered. Bears, Saints should be low-scoring game. Niners, number 3, going against Washington. The upside is great. Okay, the upside is amazing, and the floor is pretty decent. If you can stop these running backs, Chris Thompson might not even play, by the way. If you can stop these running backs for Washington and Scary Terry, it's game over. Now it's all upside. Because Scary Terry is their best player on the entire team. You can stop McLaurin, man, you're going to rack up so many fantasy points. And I'm ranking the Patriots number 4, and they can easily be number 1. Look, they're great. They're going to be great this week. They're going to be amazing. High ceiling, high floor. I just feel like the Jets are a decent team playing at home. Sam Darnold's healthy, playing well. Jets aren't going to win. They're not going to do anything crazy. The Patriots are a little bit in flux. They may not, I don't think it's going to be a 40-14 type game, a 40-7 type game. I don't think it's going to be that type of game. I see the Patriots winning by 7 or 10 points. And I could be totally wrong, but just saying that I think the Jets have a better offense than Washington, than the Dolphins, and yes, even the Saints with Bridgewater. Alvin Kamara is not 100% either. He might not even play. Even the Packers could be better than the Patriots because I'm not expecting Terrell Williams to play. They're just starting whatever wide receiver off the street, trying to do anything, trying to generate some type of offense. If the Packers are able to stop Waller and Josh Jacobs, it's over. Jags going against the Bengals. I like that. Saints going against the Bears. Bears haven't had a good offense. Titans D could be scary against the Chargers. Keep that in mind. And these two could be interchangeable. I'm just looking more at injuries and how good the Chargers are going to do in the trenches. I don't know if they're going to do well. Broncos, let's rank them down a little bit. Come on, guys. What are you doing here? Let's rank you guys down a few spots right there. Yeah, that's already high as it is going up against Patrick Mahomes. I don't really like that matchup, and I think this is looking pretty good now. I like this a lot. Titans Chargers should be a messy, low scoring game. Who knows what's gonna happen? I don't see the offenses going off this game though. And yeah, that's pretty much set right here. In my favorite position, kickers. Who do we put number 1? This is tough. I'm going to go with Robbie Gould, number 1. Greg Zuerlein, number 2. I love Steven Hauschka. Let's put him at number 3. Let's put Tucker ahead of Butker. Mason Crosby, yes, excellent matchup this game. I do like Jason Myers too. Let's put him here. And Josh Lambo. This one could be, yeah, Josh Lambo at number 7. I really like Josh Lambo going against the Bengals. Have lots of opportunities, lots of extra points, lots of field goals. He'll be good. And then it's pretty close. Like, all these guys are close. I'm not big on Will Lutz this week. Let's put him down a few spots. And let me see if there's any kickers down here that are good. Definitely not. Let's put him here. Yeah, definitely not looking good. Okay, Chase McLaughlin. I don't really trust him as a kicker. Eddie Pinheiro, that's about right. I think he's okay, just not great. I think these guys are just way better than him. And I like Adam Vinatieri a little bit more. And let's put Maher down a couple spots. Right there. Who's favored to win this Cowboys-Eagles game? Cowboys favored to win. Kind of high scoring, too. That's interesting. So let's put Maher one spot ahead of Jake Elliott. And yeah, Brandon McManus could do well. It's tough. These are all tough. From like 17 all the way to 1. Like 1 through 17, I feel like are really good. So lots of good kickers this week. All right, guys, those are my rankings for week 7. You can check out the written form of my updated rankings on fantasycouch.com. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. Just hit that couch icon right there. We also have a second YouTube channel, Fantasy Couch Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to that as well. Hit this up with a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thumbs down if you did not. And I'll catch you on the next video.